Hi guys, welcome to Reality React channel. In this channel, we watch reality TV shows to react, recap, review, and for the fun of it. And today we are recapping Love is Blind, Season 7, Episode 9, titled Is Love Enough? It starts with Taylor and Garrett, and they're in Virginia, and they are planning their day, and they are planning what they are going to do with regards to their wedding. And they are happy. And then we move to Ashely and Tyler, and they are playing with his dog, and she says that she's glad that is the only stepchild she has to deal with from him, and he wants them to shake on having 7 kids, and they discuss it up until they end up at 2. And mind you, there's rumors that Tyler has 3 kids. The mother of his children is on TikTok giving receipts, taking pictures, showing pictures of him with his kids, that he says that they are not exactly his kids, and but at the moment we don't know. Ashley is not aware of these 3 kids that he has, and so he's talking like they are actively trying to have kids, and Ashley says that she's not trying to fall pregnant, and she doesn't want to have her wedding while she's pregnant. She will go nuts if that happens. And she also indicates that, and from my point of view, these people met like 3 weeks ago or a month ago. She can't be falling pregnant uh after meeting the father of her child in 2 months. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen, and it's not good for her as a mother, and also it's not good for the child to just be be born to people that do not know each other. They don't really know much about each other, as much as there's this emotional connection that they are having. And the fact that they are planning to get married, it doesn't mean that she should be bringing kids into this new relationship that she's in. But it seems like Tyler does not care. He's ready to be a father. He's ready to be a husband. He's ready for everything. He's all in this relationship. So yeah. And then we move to Nick and Hannah, and Hannah is cooking, and Nick offers to help. So as he's offering to help, she says that he can boil the pasta, and when he goes to want to boil the pasta, he's opening a fridge to get pasta from there, and this doesn't make sense. How are you thinking that pasta is inside the fridge, and boiled pasta? And then she tells him that it's actually in the cabinet, and she ended up having to cook for doing it herself, because he kept asking questions. Oh, how do like with in terms of the stove, is it medium to heat? He just asks questions that shows that he doesn't know how to boil the pasta. So she ended up doing it herself, and then he says that he has only boiled pasta once in his life. And they were waiting for his brother to come, Cade, and he arrives. They start talking about how he fell in love with her genuinely in the pause, and that the fact that Nick loves Hannah because she speaks his mind. And they start discussing her cleanliness, and they talk about the laundry that Nick left for Hannah to pack or iron. And he jokingly said that that's what happens when you are unemployed, and that didn't sit well with Hannah. And they were and the brother laughed a bit, but he didn't laugh long enough, because he could see that his sister is actually not happy with the joke. And then she says that you are just upset because I make more money than you. And this has nothing to do with money. And it's just a joke, but Hannah is not getting it. And Hannah excuses herself after they start eating, and then Nick tells Kate that Hannah is mean to him, and she can't take it when he is actually mean to her, or he jokes to her. I don't know why they wanna be mean to each other. These jokes that they throw with each other is just weird. But then maybe that's their love language. Cade also agrees that Hannah is actually mean and can't take the meanness when it is served to her. And Cade also says that so when Hannah comes back, they say that Hannah and Kate says that they hate men and they high five with each other, and then she passively aggressively tells Nick that but she hates to love him. And he says that they have not complimented each other, or she has not complimented him, and it has been 2 hours since Kate got there. And they start complimenting each other, they start telling each other that they love each other and stuff like that. And then we move to Taylor and Garrett, and they are talking about what happened between Monica and Steven. And Taylor is just grateful that she has him in her corner, and he also shares the same sentiments, and they joke about how they both deserve each other. And apparently Monica had asked Garrett to check in on Steven, and I think Monica is very kind, but I hope that she doesn't end up she doesn't end up going to Steven because of this kindness that she has, because as much as she was hurt, she thought of maybe he's also hurt. I think this is why she looked past him cheating on his ex. Yeah, I think this is because she's very kind, she's understanding, she's all of those things that makes her herself. And they start talking about the fact that his parents are not comfortable with the fact that their marriage is very quick, and the fact that he's also moving to San Diego, and they have reservations around her, but they won't he won't discuss it with her. And then she says that she's okay with them discussing this stuff with him without her knowing, because it's not really about her, and as much as the decision lies with him in terms of whether he marries her or not. And when he asked her of whether if her dad is going to say no, what is she going to do, instead of saying I'm gonna go on with the marriage, or I'm not gonna go on with the marriage, she was dilly-dallying around the consequences of such decisions, if she's going to live with it and stuff like that. And that's when he brought up the fact that he is going to get married whether his parents show up or not. I think this, it's as much as it sounds like he is so sure of his decision, it was his way of convincing her to say that do not only rely on your parents, rely on your decision making by yourself, like I am doing. And I think this is what most people that comes on this show do. They will say that, yeah, I will get married, but I need my parents' approval. And you need your parents' approval, but you are on TV doing all of these things, and then you are making it difficult for the parents, because also this marriage needs to happen in like a short space, in short time, like it's 2 months time, and then you want the parents to approve of such, and most parents wouldn't really approve, but they just have to go with it, because what other choice do they have? They can't lose their kids because their child decided to get married like that. And we move to Alex and Tim. They are at Tim's house, and he's showing her the house. Yeah, it looks fine. Just a 1 bedroom from what he showed her, and a lounge area, a kitchen, and stuff like that. And yeah, it just like when he said it was a house, I expected like maybe 3 bedroom house or something like that. But anyway, it's his house. He owns it. He has decorated it. It looks masculine. And she was asking if she's allowed to make changes, and she wants to start with the couch. And it just looks fine, and they just jokes and sit on the couch and jokes about how his couch he has a recliner and he enjoys that. And we move to Marisa and Ramses. They are meeting her mom and her siblings. And she kind of prepares him about how her mom is protective of her because her dad is not around. And he did need that talk because her mom just came out and was not having these guys. She was not for him. And her mom starts by saying that they look alike, they look like they could be siblings. And for them to get married. And her sister says that no, she's tired of hearing that people look alike, because white people also date and get married to people that they look like they could be sibling. So she doesn't want to hear that with her sister and her fiance. And her mom asked what attracted him to her daughter, and he says that she has a nice personality and their communication style is great, and she's playful. And he start talking to Marissa about his love for her, and how he sees them going long distance together. And I like the fact that Ramses, as much as her mom is not approving of this relationship, when he talks about the love that he has for her, he's talking to her, not just talking to her mom. And Marissa's mom brought like a book, but that book was actually an album that shows their pictures together, that she has put photos of them, and she's sharing that with Ramses. And they reflect on how they grew up poor. They couldn't even afford that type of an album, so they had to put those photos in containers and stuff like that. And Marissa's mom says that she raised her kids while working, and apparently Marissa had told her mom that she would like to stay at home and raise her kids, even though she's currently studying to be a lawyer. And she asked Ramses if he'll be able to help Marissa realizes her dream of being a stay-at-home mom, and if he plans to study further, and how he is going to achieve that. But Ramses, Marissa had told Ramses that she plans on making him a stay-at-home husband so that she could work while he raises the kids, and he was okay with this. It seems like Marissa has not really maybe she has not planned properly around what she wants to do should she have kids or get married. So that's why she's telling different people different things. But what matters is what she had told Ramses. And Marsa's mom also says that the reason why she's asking if he will be able to to manage the kids while Marissa is working is because she doesn't want to be the one that comes in and helps in with the kids while her child is at work. And yeah, that's how it happened. And then we also found out that Ramses dropped out of college after he lost his father, and he has been thinking about going back, but he has not done so. And Marissa's mom asked Ramses if he is willing to sign a prenup, because she doesn't want him to be relying on the future wealth that her child will accomplish. And Marissa is uncomfortable with this conversation, but her mom doesn't care about that. And her mom says that Marissa is bossy, and they say that Ramses says that they've addressed this as a couple already, so it doesn't bother him. And he explains that he was married before, and they divorced because they were going in separate ways about their religion. And his sister asked, what does marriage mean to him? And he says that it means commitment and exploring the world to get to the world together as a married couple. I think this was generic, and like he just gave a general answer. He didn't just say anything around what he thinks about the marriage that is going to happen between him and Marissa. And Marissa leaves for the bathroom, and so Marissa's mom explains to him how marriage has worked out for her, how she got divorced, and how she doesn't think, based on her experience, she doesn't think that marriage is a forever thing. That's why she wants to know if he's willing to sign a prenup, and he says that he is willing to do that. And I think the reason why she's doing this is because she kept saying that the men that have been in Marissa's lives have um left her up, and and these are the people that she had brought into Marissa's life. And that's why she thinks that she doesn't want another man that might not have been brought by her into Marisa's life to do the same, so that she's trying to protect her child. And he's fine with signing the prenup. And she says that she doesn't believe even in blessing them to get married, because marriage is not forever, so there's no need for them to get blessings from her. But when Marisa comes back, her sister tells her that her mom wants them to sign a prenup. And then Marisa jokingly says that she doesn't need her mom's blessing. But as much as she's saying she doesn't need her mom's blessing, she still asks her, "Do you want to bless us?" And then she says, she says that, "Are you going to? Are you willing to sign a prenup, Marisa?" And then they just joke, and then they start laughing. I think the meeting was a bit tense, but it wasn't that bad. So as they are talking about the prenup, so one of them jokes about how they shouldn't be millionaires, so that the prenup thing does not matter. And I saw that Ramsey's ideology about money and billionaires and actually everything, he has his own way of thinking about it. He says that billionaires are hoarding wealth. And I think for him to say this is just wrong, because some of these billionaires, they try and donate their monies to charity, and probably they are even have some of them have donated to the NGO that he works for. It wouldn't be existing, or it wouldn't have funds to run it if those billionaires and the government was not funding it. So I don't like his ideas sometimes. And Marisa's mom tells him that she'll cut his balls off if he hurts her daughter. And she's very serious when she says that. And Marisa's mom from what I'm seeing, is that Marisa's mom is overly protective of her kids, and she's proud of them because she has raised them well. And she's more realistic about how the marriage thing has worked out for her. And maybe she's overprotective because she failed to protect Marisa from her biological dad and her stepdad. And I don't think that she trusts that Marisa has made the right decision with marrying Ramses. And we moved to Nick and Hannah's parents, and her mom asked if they've. So Nick is meeting Hannah's parents, and her mom asked if they've always known that they wanted each other. And he says that he says that she stood out amongst the 14 women that he got to speak to. And Hannah talks about um how he grills her. And her dad says that he also still get grilled by her mom. And her mom jokes about how she's not sure after all those years of being married to her dad. And they talk about how marriage is not easy, and that Hannah and Nick shouldn't expect that their marriage will be easier. And Nick talks about how Hannah is a strong woman, and that he needs her in his life, and she's a straight talker and all of that, but sometimes it could be a little too much. And Hannah asked her parents to grill him, and her parents, they are very relaxed. They say no, they are not there for that. They are there to meet him, and she's the one who has to do the grilling, because she's the one who has to live with him for herself. So she needs to do that by herself. And Nick start talking about how Hannah nitpicks at him, and her mom says that she needs to relax. I think her parents are very relaxed people, and they look so much different to how Hannah has presented them. She doesn't look like the same mother that has hidden food from her so that she doesn't eat all of them while she was a kid. And she says that she's very confident in herself, in her behavior. There's nothing that Nick needs to nitpick from her. That's why he doesn't do much of it. And there is a lot to nitpick. Even her confidence that her mom talks about, it's coming off as arrogance and rude when she talks or she's talking to him. And Nick just assures her parents that they are leaving Hannah in good hands with him, as he always gives 100% of himself. And Nick leaves, and her parents says that they tell Hannah that they like him, And also, Hannah says that she loves him, but there's something that she doesn't like about him. And her dad tells her that she needs to understand that people have flaws, and so does Nick, and she needs to stop with the nitpicking. But also, he says that she must not overthink things, but she also does not, she shouldn't underthink things, because some of the stuff that Nick does could be serious things that she will need to let him go, or some of them she needs to evaluate. Basically, he was telling her that you need to evaluate the things that you are willing to settle for and things that you are not willing to settle for, and do not overly nitpick at him. And then Alex and Tim goes to Alex's apartment. It is very messy. The clothes are all over the place, and she says that she didn't get a chance to pack properly when she was leaving to go shoot the Love Is Blind. And she is so shy. She's proud of her apartment, and she says that she could lie on her couch and sleep there. And yeah, I think that the house is messy, but she could have had someone to go and clean it up before they went to shoot there. That mess was not necessary for us to see, even though she kept saying that she's messier than him, but we didn't need proof of it. And she says that she has a lot of clothes, and you could see some of them are packed. And she says that she wants to donate, and some of them she wants to sell them because she's not wearing all of those clothes. And yeah, they are all happy, and Ramses and Marisa are reflecting on the meeting they had with her mom. And Marisa says that her mom needs therapy, which I think is not a nice thing to say about your own mother, because she, as much as she has acknowledged that her mom is overly protective of her, she doesn't need to say that her mom needs therapy. As much as her mom might need therapy around how she divorced and all of that, and how the man in her life has hurt her, she doesn't need to tell the potential future son-in-law about her mom's therapy and all of that. And she likes that her siblings likes Ramses, and they are all brushing off the prenup talk that they should be signing, or that her mom suggested that they sign. Because I don't think Marisa thinks that there's a need for them to sign it, or they don't want to discuss it here. And or maybe she doesn't think that she's going to be, or she thinks that they are going to get married forever, and which is a good thing. And she asked if how will it go with his mom, and she doesn't give her hope around how it will go, because he knows his mom is actually might be tougher on her. And they talk about the timeline with kids, and his timeline is 4 years and hers is like 2 years. And they start talking about, and they aren't using a condom, just like Ashely and Tyler, and in how they spoke about having kids. And she talks about how she will need to go on birth control, but she doesn't want to go on it, and he doesn't enjoyable, which means without the condom. And so they left us at that, and she is not going to go on birth control, and they might fall pregnant any day. I think Ramses needs to decide what exactly does he want to do. Like, he's not even saying that they could explore other types of condom. He just says latex is not the thing for him, and he needs to enjoy it. And but still he doesn't want her to be to be affected by the birth controls. There are so many other methods of preventing pregnancy. They could just look into that, but it seems like it's either birth control or condom, and both of them do not want to compromise. They they need to think better, from my own understanding, and they need to just look at it holistically instead of just saying this or that. That's not how it will work in realistically. And Hannah is meeting Nick's parents, and she's carrying gifts, and she had that his mom likes pineapple, so everything is pineapple themed gifts. And I think this time we are meeting the Hannah from the pods, not the one that Nick met. She's very nice to his mom and his family. And Nick and his dad says that Nick's dad says that his mom pushed him to grow, And he thinks that Nick is likely going to experience that with Hannah because they can see her personality, or they can, maybe Nick told them about how Hannah's personality is and how she is as a person. Hannah and Nick's mom they are finishing up the cooking, and she is explaining how she grew up and how she had to grow up very fast. She started working at like 15, and at 18 her parents cut her off, and that is the only thing that her and Nick are struggling with the fact that Nick still needs a lot of growing and to do, because he is still living with his parents. He is still being pampered with his parents, and he says, and Nick's mom tells her that he is used to being around strong women, so that shouldn't be a problem for him. And and also she says that Nick's mom says that she has pampered her kids, so this is expected. She's not surprised that that's their issue around how Nick is not fully grown yet. Hannah has exceeded their expectations, and they joke about how Hannah is welcome to stay with them if things don't work out between them. And we move to Ashely and Tyler. They are having a conversation about the argument that they had that we didn't see, and the fact that Ashely had left and now they are coming back. And she's saying that this conversation that they are having is not a resolution because um why did he hide the fact that he had kids? And she says that she should have known this before saying yes to his proposal. And I feel like this is a valid thing. Why didn't he say that he has kids before, during the time that they have been talking, and he's only revealing this 2 weeks before the marriage and before the wedding? And then he says that he has 2 girls and 1 boy, and because he had told her that the kids are uh, sperm donor kids, and she says that she wants proof that he is uninvolved. And he starts crying, and he says that what she's feeling is valid, and he asks for a chance and not forgiveness, and that he'll fight for their relationship. And and then she says that if they can't count on each other, what do they have? Is love even enough for them? And Tyler says that he's sorry, and they hug each other, and then he asks for one more chance to make it right by her. From what I'm saying, it seems like they had this conversation, and he had explained to her, and they are just taking this part so that we can see how their kids' situation is going on. And as much as he says that he is sorry, it doesn't explain why he misled her, because this is misleading. It's lying. It's lying by omission. Why didn't he say that he has kids? And also, he is still lying to her because the people there on TikTok are saying that the kids are his. It's not like sperm donor kids and all of that, because he is involved in their life. He was spending Christmas with them, but he told her that he spent Christmas alone. He is a liar. He is just lying to her, and it seems like she's understanding. That's why maybe they are shooting this scene instead of her being out of the show totally, because if someone can lie about having 3 kids while he was busy shaking on 7 kids, so he actually wanted 10 kids in his life. But nothing is wrong with that. If he wanted 10 kids, he could have been honest with her and all of that. But anyway, they show us that's how their scene ended. They show us the scene with the weddings and the teasers of the next episode. Thank you guys for watching this recap. Please comment, like this video, and subscribe to Reality React channel. See you guys in the next recap.